You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Watch it, we might get fucking hit.
Not for us singing, right?
I don't know. We might be too good.
We've already lost quite a few shows to the powers that be at YouTube. The copyright strikes. Now Podbean don't care.
Bobby don't give a shit.
Podbean's like, hey, you know what? Play all of Beethoven's Fifth if you want. I don't give a shit. But
fucking play the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Fucking hell.
If you play 1 minute of I'm a Scat Man, you're gonna be done for.
I'm a scat man.
So we better watch out. Hey, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're doing a thing.
It was kind of a last minute. We didn't know if we were going to make it tonight.
It was a game time decision.
It was a game time decision. But here we are.
See, sports terms.
That was good work, kiddo. Pinky point. That was a good work.
Thank you, sir.
That was good work.
New headphones, by the way, too.
Oh, what happened to the Beats? They are the Beats. They're little. They're baby Beats. You got some baby Beats.
You know what they were? They were half-off Beats. They were.
You got the baby Beats.
And you know what?
Them, though.
I love them. They're strong. They're loud as shit too. They're real nice.
Push a button on the side. Let me see you do it.
I don't know what it's gonna do.
Do it.
It's this side.
Yeah, there it is. You did
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Because I'm not. Yeah, because I didn't. I assumed nothing was gonna happen because it's just facilitating from here. It's not like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
You gotta do a workaround. You gotta do a reach around. Got the baby Beats though. Those are fresh.
They're nice. They're comfortable too. That's what they are. More importantly, they were half off. That was the most important thing about them. So
you're thrifty. No one can accuse you of any less.
Yeah. They serve me at the gym. So I used to use earbuds all the time.
Oh, I hated earbuds.
I loved earbuds because my old job, my last couple jobs that I've had, I would listen to podcast music and everything like that. And problem with headphones, wireless headphones specifically, is once they ran out of batteries, you got to take them off and charge them, but then you can't listen to anything. With earbuds, though, you can just connect one bud. When that dies, put it in the case, pop the other one out, boom, you're back to listening to shit. So
One Bud was my old high school nickname.
Oh yeah, one bud and done.
One bud done. Well, that's cool. I'm not a fan of the way earbuds feel. I'm a headphone kind of guy.
I prefer headphones, but given certain situations, earbuds work pretty well too. So, Scott, we're back. We is back.
Yeah,
daytime show. Daytime.
That's
it's the dusk show.
It's the failing light.
There's a lot of things failing this past weekend.
Yes, there's some failings. I want to hear some stories from you, kiddo.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I did something
first of all,
this weekend.
Peep the threads.
Yeah, the Robin Hood. The Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. I just got this today. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to me and to all you other fathers out there.
It's amazing how I don't care about Father's Day because it's never been a thing I've ever needed to care about.
Yeah.
I'm actually, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, really, because it's just every single time it's like, oh fuck, it's my Mother's Day, shit like that. Oh, the mother's birthday is right around the corner. Somebody's birthday right around the corner. It's just one less thing I don't have to fucking worry about. I don't got a dad or a grandpa.
Don't have a
that
daddy.
I care about to worry about. I just basically took a nap and then I went to the gym and then I ate some Taco Bell. That was about it. That was my day.
Well, I'm a daddy, and I got this sick shirt.
Don't say that again.
I got this sick Robin Hood shirt. I think Robin Hood is my favorite Disney movie. My favorite animated Disney movie.
It's good.
It's good.
My favorite.
It's very good. What's your favorite? Lion King.
Probably Lion King.
I know you're Lion King.
I love Lion King.
You're a 1989 millennial.
Because I'm fancy and I like
Applebee's.
I'm Shakespearean, sir. That's
it was Hamlet with animals.
I'm a fancy bitch. So
I like Robin Hood. I like it.
Yeah.
Or the
it's
world
great.
will sing of an English king 1,000 years from now.
That was in the era of Disney where they love to anthropomorphize all animals into like being everyday things. Like they still do it, but like Lion King, they're I can't even say that fucking word. Anthropomorphize animals, but they're in their element. They're lions.
They're
doing
not
lion
really
things.
anthropomorphized other than their language.
Yeah, they talk and they do like cartoony shit, and they're self-aware and all this other stuff.
I think they're just regular lions and lions.
Yeah, but they're in their element, is what I mean. Yeah, this is like they took like Robin Hood. It's like, but what if Robin Hood was a fox?
But he wears clothes and shoots arrows and robs from the rich to give to the poor.
And what if he fucks?
What if we made Maid Marian also a fox, but a girl fox, a vixen,
And little did they know,
make her a fucking dimer?
That was the early onset of the
We're
furry.
gonna turn all these kids who watch this into furries because they totally want to bang Maid Marian.
Maid Marian. In any
She had those bedroom eyes.
any
man.
iteration, man. Disney they know how to draw bedroom eyes. It's like when they do that little blinking thing.
Disney animators are good at two things: bedroom eyes and dump truck asses.
They can do that too.
They do that.
They do that.
Yeah. That went off the rails pretty quick, didn't it?
That was all you, dude. You can't blame me for that one. That was all you. You're the one that.
Yeah.
You started.
Anyway, I
talking about
love
Maid
the shirt.
Marian.
Shout out to Roosevelt's. Maybe they'll sponsor us. We need some sponsors. We need some.
I
nice
could
new
use
things.
some new shirts. I
This is
realize my wardrobe is
Roosevelt's,
lackluster right
baby.
now.
Big fan of them. Check them out. Roosevelt's.com, clothing company. They make like slick Hawaiians, and
That's like your go-to Hawaiian.
it's kind of my thing. I'm in a Hawaiian summer. Do you go through fads and phases like I do?
No.
You're pretty much set in your ways. You're a crotchety old man.
I'm not set in my ways crotchety. I'm more just like, oh, this looks nice. I'll rock this. Oh, this is cool. This is comfortable. I'll rock this. I'm not like, ooh, I'm gonna dress like, Jimmy Buffett this summer, or I'm going through like a punk phase this summer. And
You
I
should.
don't
You should do fun
I don't
things.
really need to do all that stuff. And here's the problem with phases. It costs money to fucking purchase all that shit as opposed to just wearing the same wardrobe you wear every fucking year.
It's so funny you say that, because if you go to Forward Distractions YouTube channel, you can subscribe to us, watch our shows when we post them live. But you make great thumbnails.
I make some pretty good
They're really
thumbnails.
great. I love your thumbnails. It's awesome work. But you put like in the background a lot of fun things that we're talking about. But you always have the two of us front and center. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're the stars of the show. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But you can see our wardrobes each time. And you rotate through about 2 or 3 different wardrobes.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just a fucking off the walls every time.
You're unique every time.
But it's become a thing now. Like, it's almost ironic that you wear the same thing and I wear something. Like, now I'm like, oh, gotta do the podcast. Can't wear that. Worn that before. Can't wear that. Worn that before.
I think I've worn this at least for the past 10 podcasts.
I think so.
Probably.
I think so. We're going to have to fact check that.
I have 3 different kinds of these shirts. I have this color, I've got the dark navy blue, and then I've got like a maroon color.
If it ain't broke, right?
Yeah, and these are comfortable. I do like these. These are incredibly sweet. I did notice something whenever I was looking around. So like, I've been working out a lot. So like, I've been getting into better shape. So it means I'm like, okay, I can finally start wearing some stuff.
Are you going to Hulk through that pretty soon? Like, you're gonna
I don't know if I'm gonna Hulk through it, but like, it's definitely filling out a lot better. But like, I'm looking through my words, like, okay, what do I want to wear today? And I was like, I got a lot of Westminster shirts because I worked there, and then before I left, they give you like Westminster, if you're an employee, they give you like a fund every year that you can use like $250 a year to purchase for like work stuff. And
Which goes right back to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they reimburse you. You pay for it, then they reimburse
Yeah.
you. So it's basically free, basically. So before I quit,
That sounds like robbing the rich to give to the rich.
basically.
Opposite of what Robin Hood does.
What I did was before I quit, I had about $220 left, and I just went to the Westminster store, and I was like, I want that hoodie, I want that hoodie, I want those 2 shirts, and that's all I did. So I got like a bunch of Westminster shit in there, and then I have shit from like 10, 15 years ago, like in the age of like American Eagle Air Apostle shit that's just hanging up in my closet. Like there's a graphic tee from American Eagle I've never worn. It's a tight fitting tee, and I was like always a little overweight, and I was like, oh, I'll get into shape, and then once
When
I
are we
get
going
into
to
shape,
see this? When are you going to break this out?
I'm
looking forward to it.
It fits me. It fits me now. But like there have been days where like I'll put on like, man, I'll wear this, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I look like the oldest man in the world because I'm look like an old man trying to be hip. as if American Eagle is still
Hello,
a thing.
fellow teens.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I look like. Like I look like what I really look like is one of those like roided out douchebag Joe Rogan bros who's like graphic tee, fucking energy drink.
Can you wear it next week for the show?
If you remind me, I can.
Dude, let's get Adam to wear that for the show.
I'm gonna
week.
look like a douchebag.
I can't wait. I'm wearing a Robin Hood Roosevelt shirt.
But that's
right now.
that's cool. This isn't cool. This is douchey, is what it is.
I say, Friar Tuck, it appears I've got an outlaw for an in-law.
I'm putting in my calendar right now. So this is a Sunday show. What we're doing.
It is. We're doing Sunday.
I think we decided that the Sunday wasn't like the best day for you personally.
And here we are.
And so we were gonna pick like Monday, I think is what we would do, but like
Yeah.
you got busy. It's a whole thing.
I have
so-
something going on Monday night and Tuesday night this week.
Yeah.
So it was either Sunday night or not at all. And it was touch and go whether or not I was going to make it here.
Yeah.
I was away all weekend. I was in Erie, Pennsylvania. My daughter had a soccer tournament. And it was kind of like, oh, if her team wins, they keep moving on. But if they lose early, I'll be home in time. So it was kind of like not rooting for them to lose. I'm totally not rooting for them to lose. Eva, I wanted you to win.
I'll admit there was part of me today when I was working out. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna do the podcast because Scott said it's because I was like, they've won enough in life. I think they've won enough.
They made it to the quarterfinals. They were in like the final 6 or so. The quarterfinals, yeah, and they lost 1-0. Stupid. I don't want to get into it, but they lost, so we were able to make it home.
If you're gonna losing 1-0 is kind of the best thing you can do. It's kind of the best.
I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team, but there was some really good competition. So, and then we had a little bit of time because they lost. We drove up north, well, a little bit northeast of Erie. We went to Salamanca, New York. We went to the Native American reservation, and we went to a museum and did all that kind of stuff. Why you giving me the look?
I'm gonna give you a look.
Why you give me a look?
I'm gonna give you a look.
We went to the reservation and we did some sightseeing there. It was really cool. Cheap gas, cheap weed.
Cheap.
We went to a museum. Yeah, I mean it's sovereign land.
Yeah.
It's part of the Iroquois Nation, the Seneca, I believe. Oneida.
You were there. You should know.
Yeah.
You were just there today.
It was written in other languages that I don't read, but it was a lot of fun. My wife's really, really into that culture, and she teaches it in school. So she wanted to check it out, and we were close. So we're like, yeah, let's do it. There's a casino there. We didn't go to the casino. Totally wanted to go to the casino. It's a kick-ass casino.
Yeah.
But when you're on sovereign land, it's like anything goes when it comes to hoes. I'm the kingpin when it comes to flows. Like, there's laws, but they get to pick them.
So theoretically, they could have like hookers and shit like that there. They could have a brothel there.
Sex work could be legal. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know.
Maybe
maybe
that's something you have to ask for. Maybe that's not on the menu.
I'm not going to go up.
It's an off the menu kind of thing, you know.
I'm like, hey, with my kids and wife in the car, let's find the nearest Indian alongside the road and ask him if sex work is legal here.
Where the hoes at?
Hey-o. Anyway, it wasn't that kind of trip, Adam. It wasn't that kind of trip. We had a really nice time. Made it back in time to do this, and here we are. Looking forward to it. But I was gone all weekend.
Yeah, you were.
And you know, I was worried because this was a last minute, like you said, game time decision to do this because I had some stuff. I wanted to make sure it happened. Last week, we ran out of time with a phone call. Robert Hopkins, our resident flat earther,
right?
He was going to call in. He called in, but ran out of time. We actually have him on hold.
Really?
He's on hold right now. We're going to go to him in a little bit because I do want to talk to him. But there's some stuff I want to talk about first before we go there. Like I said, I was away all weekend. I missed some big stuff that happened. But you, sir, you did not.
Yeah.
And I was kicking the can around a little bit. I was hinting at. I wanted to like put you on assignment for this because I wasn't going to be around to do it. Otherwise, I would have totally done it. But I knew I was going to be out of town. I'm like, how do I just flat out tell him, I'm like, hey, you have a job to do for the cast. I'm going to put you on
You could have just been
assignment.
like, hey, go do this.
I kind of did, and you were
Yeah.
like, well, I was going to do that anyway.
Yeah,
So
like-
why don't you let the
I didn't know,
folks
so I didn't know originally that it was going on around here. I assumed it was going to be happening somewhere like Grove City and Youngstown, stuff like that. I didn't know there was going to be one in Hermitage.
which
but-
is the small town where we live, yeah.
Yes. Within the Shenango Valley, I went to a No Kings protest.
They were all over the damn
They
place.
were surprisingly everywhere. And again, you said game time decision. This is also a game time decision because I told you, we talked about it like Friday night. I was like, I'm going to make my best effort to go. Given the shift that I work and the time that it's happening, like I'll have to like go to sleep immediately after I get off work and wake up, so I'll be on like 5 hours of sleep, and so we'll see. I managed to roll out of bed, and I was like, yeah, all right, cool, I'm good to go. There you go. So I packed up, got ready, got dressed, and went down there. I was a little worried at first because I got there at like 1:45, 1:50ish, and the protests are supposed to start at 2, and there were like 3 total people there. 3 people just stand on the corner, and they were like old people just kind of standing on the corner.
Oh.
Like I was like, so I sat in my car. I was like, let's see this out. I'm not gonna go stand with the 3 old people.
Let's slow
by
play it. Let's slow
ourselves.
play this.
Not in the Shenango Valley.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So let's see what happens. And then slowly people started trickling in. More and more people started coming in to the point where like enough of a crowd got in. Like, okay, so it's really gonna happen. It's a thing. So I got out and I stood out there. And for me, it was mostly, first of all, I thought it was gonna be a march. I thought we were gonna march down the road. I didn't realize we were just gonna stand at the corners, and which is fine. I thought it was gonna be like, okay,
You were ready to get some exercise.
I was ready to walk. I was like, let's fucking go. Like I'm
Let's block traffic. Let's break
exactly.
windows. Let's
fucking,
do it.
Let's
yeah.
fucking do it. Like I was ready to go, but it's like, no, I guess we're just standing there. It's like, okay, cool. I was mostly like a body filler. I didn't have any signs or anything like that because it was like last minute. And like I said, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it depending on how tired I was. So I was mostly a body filler there, just kind of like, cheering people on and like back.
How much were you paid to be here? Because according to the right wing, like they were all paid activists. How much did you get paid to be here?
I was paid about 3 rubles is what I was paid.
Rubles.
Yes, the current currency.
Nos Vidanya, comrade.
Yes, I was paid about 3. The going rate was 3 to 5 rubles. I had the lower rate, so no, I wasn't fucking paid anything. Fuck all that bullshit. Fuck. It was a great day yesterday. Well, it's kind of a great day. There's one thing happened that kind of dampened.
At the one you were at?
No.
Okay.
Just in general, just in the country, one thing happened that kind of dampened the mood of the everything. But besides that, it was like everything's great. I did post a video on TikTok. Actually, I have the video right here.
Oh, let's take a look.
It's a very short, like 20-second, 30-second video or something like that. I took a bunch of videos. It's just kind of like mid-protest, the crowd. Like I said, we're on the corner on East State Street doing this. Surprisingly, during the protest, we had like a lot of solidarity beeps and cheers as people were driving by. So let's take a gander at this. Oh, hold on. Let me do this on the fly. I got to fix the audio because it's not. Yeah, here it is.
Are you on Facebook Live?
All right, I'm going to start it back again.
That's a fair amount of people.
Lady, I got pictures for like this.
Mall was torn down.
Are you on Facebook Live? Hi, Facebook. Nice to see you. Come on down.
People in the protest were kind of like bopping around like the different corners. They were crossing the street and stuff like that, and so they weren't like standing in one individual spot. It was good. It was a lot of solidarity. There were 3 counter individuals.
There were? Okay.
I think there was 4. We'll talk about them right now. So what the first we had was early on the protest when it was like it had started. It was like going on 15 minutes. Some dude in a pickup truck was hanging a left to go down past First National Bank. And as he was going by, he just heard him scream, "Long live the king!" So that was like a counter thing. It was just like
A pox on the phony
Yeah.
king of America. That's a Robin Hood. That's a Robin Hood reference. It's gonna be happening all day. Okay.
I think it's
It was pretty fitting.
I think it's fate that you wore that shirt tonight.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then there was one person who clearly planned this. You saw the corner that I was on. He came up onto that section of the corner in the car. These people didn't have the guts to get out of the fucking car, by the way. He rolled up.
They saw you standing there, man.
Yeah, they
were
saw
like,
me.
I'm not that guy.
I was like, what's up? Let's go. So no, like he rolled up and he was in the passenger seat and he had a MAGA hat on. He's like a middle-aged guy, probably like around our age, probably. Maybe
We're not middle-aged yet.
You're middle-aged.
No, I'm not there yet.
You're 40. That's middle.
I'm a man. I'm 40. It's like 50s middle-aged.
You gonna make it to 100?
You better believe it, little britches.
Okay.
That's a Phil Harris quote, who is also. I apologize.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
No, he rolled up. He looked like a typical MAGA, like young 30s, mid 30s douchebag. MAGA hat, and he had like a Trump sign that he was hanging out. And as they were doing the turn at the corner, they stop. So they're stopping traffic essentially, and they were like yelling out and stuff and shit like that. But then they like rolled down, sped down to like the roundabout. Me and a couple other people were looking back. I was like, all right, is he gonna pull in? Because he had a bit of an attitude. So we were looking back, waiting for this dude to like pull in and get out of the car and come start some shit. He didn't have the guts to do it.
Of course not.
He didn't fucking have the guts to do it. There was one other person in the car. You know those cars?
Teslas?
There was a time, not a Tesla. I wish it was a Cybertruck or some shit like that.
Would have blown up.
You know, there was a time like in our younger days when people were like all about cars, sports cars, you know, souping up their cars.
Yeah, I was never into that culture, but I had some friends.
It looked like this guy who had like all tinted windows, who had like a souped up bullshit fucking sedan, and he had his wheels set up. I'm not a car guy, so I don't know like the technical terms for this, but you know how like the wheels kind of like angle like this a little bit.
Yeah.
They go instead of like being straight, they go in like a little bit of an angle.
I'm sure that has a name.
Yeah, I'm sure it does too.
But we don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. But he definitely had that, and he was like, he rolled up, but he didn't have the guts to roll down his window, so all he did was like rev his engine. Rev his engine. Everyone's like, this guy's fucking cool. Yeah. And then he's just revving his engine, and he's going past us where that guy was, down towards like where the Walmart, down that direction. Light turns green, he goes, fucking steps on the gas, and then at one point when he's going through the intersection, he cuts as if he's like pretending he's going to hit the people on the other side of the corner. He cuts over there and then real quick skirts over to the left as if he wanted to like scare people, as if he's going to like plow into the people on that other corner. So there's a couple pricks. There was one counter protest though
on your corner, like outside.
They weren't on my corner, but they were outside amongst us. One counter protest. I actually have a photo.
Oh,
I got a photo.
Let's take a look.
So, a second, let me see here. Which one is this one? Is it you? Yeah. So here's a photo. Can you see this is us on the corner. Can you see the counter protester? Can you see him? Are you able to make him out?
I'm gonna get close.
Take a look. Get closer. Can you see any counter protester going on or anything like that? You see anything going on? No, you can't. Yeah, that's okay, because you know what? I'll make it easier for you. I'll make it easier for you. I got a second photo.
I can't see.
I got a second photo. So we got his right here. Focus on this area right here. I got another photo right here.
Oh.
Yeah, right there. Two MAGAs. Really, a dad would look like his son. Decided that they were going to come and counter protest. The dad is holding up a sign that says I support Trump, and the kid's waving a big ass American flag. But they were like about 20 or 30 feet away off in the reject section.
The reject section, yeah.
So yeah, and they were just kind of there thinking there was a lot of times where the people were beeping, and like they were driving by, they were doing the solidarity beeps, and like he thought that they were beeping for him, so he'd be like wave, like yeah, and then as they were driving by, they would give him the finger.
Yeah, the finger.
It was fucking great. At a certain point, the energy kind of like left him a little bit, and he stopped like waving the flag, but he just kind of started standing there. That was it though.
What was the police presence like?
Almost non-existent.
Non-existent.
There was one cop car going down East State Street, like towards Sharon.
Okay.
Isn't there like a little mini bullshit casino on East 8th Street or some shit like that.
Yeah, one of those like spin to wins.
Yeah, one of those like spin to
the
wins,
Shark Arcade,
like that
Sharkade.
Yeah, like that area. It's like across the street from like Sackett's. Like there was one cop that was sitting like kind of across the street in that area, just kind of like keeping an eye on things, making sure nothing was going on. But other than that, I didn't see any. I saw one of the cops stop, but that's because a fucking truck stalled out in like a lane, and so they stopped to like make sure they were okay. That was basically it, though. There was no violence, no cop presence, nothing going on or anything like that. There was one family that showed up. His mother brought her kids with her. Kid must have been in middle school. I'm guessing like 6th, 7th grade, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, something like that. And he had she also brought like her 2 little daughters, probably a little younger than Eva, I would imagine. But the kid was like really into it. Like the kid was like, no king, no throne, no kings, like just chanting, like screaming, everything non-stop. Even when everybody else was like slowing down, like chit-chatting a little bit, he was still like going like, ah. So overall, though, it was a very pleasant experience. No rain. The rain stopped whenever I showed up, so it's a good thing I went there. I will say, whenever everything kind of ended, it was like 3:15. You know, it was like, all right, protests over, we're gonna go home. More than one people started blaring "Fuck Donald Trump." That "Fuck Donald Trump" song
That's
as
a
they were
good song.
leaving. Yeah. Overall, it was a good experience, and but you know what? The experience wasn't just in our area. All over the fucking world.
Wow.
All over the world.
It was incredible.
I think they estimated like over 2,000 protests worldwide. At least over 1 million people just in this country protesting. Even if that's an overestimation, it's like a guaranteed hundreds of thousands of American citizens were on the streets protesting, especially in the bigger cities. You know who didn't have a good time though?
Who did not have a good time?
Donald Trump didn't have a good time.
Oh, why not?
Today, well, that was his birthday. It was also the day of the big military parade, and boy, the crowd went mild during that fucking shit show. I don't know if you saw.
The crowd goes mild.
I don't know if you saw any. I don't know if you saw any of the footage from it.
Oh my God, you didn't see the meme I created? Oh, we should have had it queued up. I'll share it to For Your Distractions Facebook page. So, do you know the famous picture? And it's like, it always rears its head on Reddit. It's like this guy. It's a screen capture of a Snapchat, and he's in his house, and he's got like a beer pong pyramid made. He's got all kinds of bottles of booze and stuff. And he took the picture. He's like, so is anybody coming or no? Have you ever seen that?
I've seen that.
Probably seen it. Was like a famous picture.
I didn't see you share it.
And somebody at the top, like it's on Reddit, and they go, somebody's having a really bad day. Nobody came to his party. So I took that picture and I superimposed a photo of the lawn with like a dozen people maybe standing out in front of it, and I put it there, and I wrote, so is anybody coming or no? And it's epic. I'll post it to the For Distraction Facebook page so everyone can see it.
Did you see the footage of the actual parade though after the fact?
The squeaky tank.
The squeaky tank.
It was quiet enough to hear.
It was so quiet that as the tank was rolling down, it was like squicker, 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 squicker.
It sounded like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Oral. Yeah, exactly. Not only that, it was. Did you see the troops marching? If you could call it, if you could call it a
they
march,
were kind of goose stepping a little bit.
they were just walking. They weren't even marching.
No?
Like they were just lined up. Like I saw footage of the troops marching down the street, and like most of them were not even like you know, because we're making comparisons to it because it's very much similar to like that North Korea and Russia. Whenever they have their troops marching down for whatever parades, they're like lined up. It's like the Lion King when Scar and the hyenas are marching. It's very much kind of like that. They're all like lined up. You know,
Jeremy Iron goes hard in that.
Very much. So. He doesn't even really sing. Like he just kind of like talks.
Oh, that's right. He didn't sing. Yeah, I don't think he sang that part. Regardless, yeah, they were
they were all lined up and they're all like marching.
That's what a Nazi would say.
They're all marching within step. The military parade during Donald Trump's birthday parade, they were just walking. They were basically walking. They were kind of lined up, but they weren't walking in step. They were just kind of like walking down the road. Like it was like the most awkward fucking thing. I think it was like what they estimated, like less than 10,000 people showed up, and they were shooting for like 200.
Ugh.
And I was watching a TikTok, and you doom scroll the comments, and they were talking about like the amount of people that showed up, and then there was somebody that commented as like, I'm a military spouse. I guarantee most of those people were just family members for the military people, and they were showing up just because they were in the parade. So,
That's
I got a picture of Donald Trump on his birthday. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this making the rounds. This is I call this sad Trump. It's he looking at me sad.
Oh.
It's so sad. What a
at
sad
him.
boy. What a sad boy. Aww. It's okay, Trump. It's okay. This
how many presents? 37. Counted them myself. That's Dudley from Harry Potter, and it's just like Trump. Oh my God, what a piece of shit he is.
yeah, I'm happy. This Saturday made me happy to be American because it made me happy just because of the amount of people that not only showed up for the protests, but the amount of people who did not show up for that fucking wasteful parade that cost us up to like $50 million.
So we don't have kings in this country.
No, we don't.
Like, we fought a whole war to end like having kings in this country. You remember that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you heard of it.
I've
Yeah,
heard
we weren't
tall
really
tale.
around.
I heard
Not
the
really
tall
around.
tale.
But like, we don't
Before
want
my
kings
time.
anymore. But let's just hypothetically say, if we were gonna have a king, why would it be that fucking guy?
For real.
Like this fucking orange, ancient old man who has dementia and shits his pants with a dead ferret on his head.
I mean, royalty back in the day, I guess, were very inbred. Have you seen
That's
his,
true.
Have you seen his sons? They look very inbred.
He totally wants to bang his own daughter. He
Not only
said
that, but also his sons have buck fucking teeth, and they look sickly. So I guess if there was somebody to be the king, it'd be the one that who has kids that are fucking inbred as shit. MAGA was big mad about the protest, though. They were big mad about the No Kings protest. So unfortunately, things in this country were not as peaceful everywhere as they were in our area during the protest because they were much bigger in other areas. There were reports of, I think, I read this one story where one dude like ran his car into a crowd of people or something like that because they were protesting. I saw a video of this dude in a pickup who got really pissed off at like a Free Palestine flag and jumped out of his car and started like trying to fight people to tear down the flag.
I saw that one too.
But luckily the people like gathered around him like chased him away. I did hear about one person who shot somebody who was in a crowd who killed somebody
in Utah, right?
I think so.
I heard there was a protester who was shot and eventually passed away from his wounds in Utah.
Notice, mind you, though, violence during these protests, who fucking started it?
Little to none at all.
Who fucking started the violence? All these stories we're talking about, they were all stories of people that were against the protests, were pissed off that people were protesting, so they decided to start some shit. So
we talked about on the show last week about the protests that were breaking out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And some of the protests did go viral. There was some rioting that did occur. It did occur.
Very, very little bit.
Very little, but it did.
And if you look at some of the videos, there's videos that have come out where a lot of it was instigated by the authorities. There was a lot of instigation on the authorities.
Not only that, here's what I think it is.
I think I saw one video of like I don't mean to cut you off, but I think I saw one video of them claiming like, oh look, they set this cop car on fire, but then there's like video footage of like, oh look, why are the cops setting their own fucking car on fire?
I don't know about that. I didn't see that. But what I do know of people is that people suck.
Yes.
And I've been a part of, I'm happy you were a part of this protest. I've been a part of other protests. And, you know, you've got the people who care about the cause.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're trying to get our voice heard. We're trying to change X, Y, and Z. But then you have some other people who show up, who piggyback the reason that you're there, that don't care at all.
Yeah.
They're just there to start shit, instigate. And I bet there was people who don't care at all about pride or ICE or Palestine or kings or anything. They just, oh shit, look at all these people downtown marching. I could break into Target and get some new shoes.
Yeah.
And those people suck. Both sides will agree. Those people suck. But they're not to be associated with our movement. They're not us.
We say it all the time. We talk about it all the time. We talk about January 6th all the time.
Right.
Well, not all the time, but like we have brought it up many times, and we have openly said not everybody at January 6th were rioters. Not everybody. There was probably like a minority of the mass crowd that was there who were actual rioters that did stuff. It doesn't mean that there weren't people that perpetrated violence. It doesn't mean there weren't people that did that kind of shit. And you can blame those people without blaming every single person that was there. Like that's the issue. And I think that's the problem. That's kind of the main difference between the left and the right, I think. The left is willing to say on both sides, there are people there that care about the issues and people there that are protesting, and then there's a minority of people that just want to start some shit or just want to like take advantage of the situation.
Right.
But then you got most of the people, and it's because it's all I hear on the right. You got most of the people on the right say, "Oh, look, there's some violence going on, so therefore it's all violence."
I will say you're right about January 6th. I know of our local Mercer County, Pennsylvania, where you and I reside, the Republican committee of the county. I don't know if it was the committee themselves, but it was people involved with it. They chartered a bus to go to D.C. on January 6th.
Yeah.
And they filled a bus with people. And they attended Trump's rally, he at the White House. He was giving the speech from the lawn. And everyone attended that. Not everyone on that bus then marched to the Capitol. And the ones who did, some of them were just at the Capitol and didn't go in. Now, there was a handful, half a dozen that did. There's the pink hat lady. There's the bullhorn lady who was one of the first ones who broke the windows. She's from our county. There's that guy, Perna. He's the one that killed himself.
Yeah.
He was in jail. The reason he killed himself is because he was going to go to jail for a long time because he
if he would have just waited a couple years, he would have been
Yeah,
I don't mean to make light of somebody killing themselves, but he really missed out.
Yeah, we talked about him on the show before. I actually knew the guy, but then there was a kid from Newcastle who was on the bus, and a kid from Ohio, and there was a guy who was videotaping the whole thing that was going on.
Yeah,
they all got arrested because they went into the Capitol and broke the law. But the other people who I know people who were on that bus that went and saw the rally and even went to the Capitol but didn't go in.
Yeah.
So they didn't break the law. That's fine. That's fine. No one is arguing that that's fine.
I can disagree with your protest, but defend it to my death. You're right to do it.
This country that we love was founded on protest. The Sons of Liberty threw the frickin' tea into the harbor.
I was going to say, the most famous protest probably was the Boston Tea Party.
Yes. Our country
Which is destruction of property, mind you. That's what it is. That's what it was. They broke onto a boat and they destroyed property. So let's just remember that also. Mm-hmm.
And we praise them for it.
Yeah.
I have to praise you like I should. Little Fat Boy Slim for you.
You two's gonna
Happy
take
Sunday.
us down. But no, it was mostly peaceful. There was a few minor incidents that unfortunately led to some people's death. It seemed like most of it was instigated by the opposition.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say it was a positive look into the way that things look in this country. The best thing, like I said, the best thing that could have happened was the lackluster, enthusiastic crowd at Trump's parade. That was probably the best result of that whole thing. But unfortunately, alongside the protest, there was something else that happened. There was the assassination of those Minnesota lawmakers.
Oh, yes. I did hear about that.
I don't know all the details of it. I just know that there was a man that disguised himself as a police officer that went up to their homes, and when they answered the door, he shot them. Not just them. I believe their spouses were harmed or killed in the incident as well. They've even made it's gotten to the point where I think they're still searching for him, but Minnesota has made a slight change, at least for right now, and they've let their people know that all police officers must work in pairs now. So that lets the people know that, hey, if you see a police officer that's by himself, be cautious. Don't trust it because we're making cops work in pairs at the moment. Just
well,
to
what's
make
to
sure.
stop two crazy people from going somewhere together?
I know, but I think they're just doing what they can to try to alleviate the danger while they're searching down for this assassin. I wonder if there's going to be as big of a manhunt for this assassin as there was for Luigi Mangione. I'm curious about that. As far as we know, he hasn't been caught yet. So that was the sour taste on the weekend, I guess, to this great weekend that we've had. But I would say cautiously optimistic for the future of the country. I know you've been a bit of an Adam this past year regarding things that have been going on. You very much,
Sir, how dare you?
I'm sorry. Is it an insult to compare you to me? I'm sorry. I've never been so insulted in my life. You've been a bit of a negative Nancy. You've very much been a bit of a downer regarding the state of things going on recently, with, understandably so. But I would argue that this past weekend has shown that more and more people, there's more people now that are disgusted with what's going on with this administration than there are people that agree with it.
So I did want to point something out. I'm getting better, Adam. But when this shooting occurred and I was disgusted, I made a post, and one of my friends, used to be friends with him. We had a mutual friend. I'm Facebook friends with him. I'll change his name. His name's Jim. Okay, so
Jimbo Jones.
I won't use his real name on the podcast because I don't know if he wants me to. So I'll change his name for the story's sake. We'll call him Jim. So Jim commented on one of my posts when I post, breaking news, Minnesota assassin identified as 57-year-old Vance Boltier.
I saw this argument.
You saw this.
I skimmed this argument.
I tagged you in it. He said he's a Democrat and was appointed by Walz. And then if you went to Jim's actual page, he had a longer rant that was like, this guy is a Democrat who was appointed by Governor Tim Walz to work on his job board, like all this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And he posted this right after the assassination took place. So I could not neither confirm nor deny this. But guess what? As things came out, that's all bullshit. Mind you, what he was quoting was a fucking Breitbart report. Breitbart.
Yeah, that's a red flag right there.
That's a horrible... But it later came out that no...
He also didn't really argue in that post so much either. There was somebody else that jumped into that fucking argument. That was the main antagonistic element of that conversation.
So this Vance Boltier, he is actually a registered Republican. He's not a Democrat. Supported Trump. He has posts on his social media, his manifesto, that he supported Trump. He is an evangelical preacher. He works at a private security contractor. He had an entire hit list in his manifesto that included Tim Walz,
Yep.
Ilhan Omar, and a couple abortion activists.
Yep, I heard about that too.
He followed anti-LGBTQA plus hate groups on Facebook. And despite all of this, these MAGA influencers and people like Jim are claiming he was hired by Tim Walz and the evil Democrats, but they provide zero evidence to this. That right there is dangerous. That's going to get more people hurt or killed. And it's a lie. It's a flat-out lie. The guy is a MAGA Republican Trumper. And he's the one who murdered people who he disagreed with.
I was watching a live debate this past weekend where somebody jumped up and they were discussing like the assassination, and there was the opposition. The guest that came up in the live debate was referring to this person as a John Wick-like character, former military. That's the reason why the people that survived, because he picked the targets and he picked the points at which they shot him so that they wouldn't be lethal and all this other shit. And he was trying to argue like weird conspiracy reasons why, it's not necessarily like a stab at the right or MAGA or Trump or anything like that. And the entire time I'm thinking like, this dude is like, not only is he buying into the Kool-Aid, bro is he's stirring the sugar into the Kool-Aid is what he's actively doing. Like, people are fucking weird about this nonsense.
All right.
When did it, my last thought.
Last thought.
When did it become hot take? When did it really honestly become like the talking point that, oh, this person did this wrong thing, but because they're this side of the political spectrum, like that is like a dig at them? Like, would it have mattered if this person was on the left or right? This person fucking killed political lawmakers probably for political reasons. When the fuck did that start mattering, and when can we get rid of that shit? That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say about that. That's my hot take. That's my hot take for tonight. What does it fucking matter?
That's a really good point. Like, I think I did say this to Jim. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if this guy was a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or anything in between. He is a murderer. And he killed people that he disagreed with. I am a registered Democrat only because in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if you want to vote in the primary, you must be registered one of the two major political parties, which is bullshit. I hate that. I think Pennsylvania should have open primaries like a lot of the other states. But I don't necessarily completely align with the Democrat platform. I consider myself a progressive socialist. And there's a lot of things I don't agree with. Now, I think the Democrats are way better than the Republicans. But that being said, we've done it on this show countless times. When a Democrat does something we disagree with, we will call them out for it, Adam. We do it.
Yes.
I feel like the MAGA cultists don't do that with Trump. No matter what he does, no matter what horrible things he says or does, and there's countless of those, they stand by him. Stand by your man. Stand by your Orange Hitler. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't care what political party this guy is. He murdered someone, and he needs to face the full force of the law.
Now, before anybody... Last final thought before we move on. Before anybody says, well, what about when Luigi murdered that CEO and everything like that? Guess what? He does need to stand trial.
Mm-hmm.
And,
right.
And if
we said that.
If he is proven to be the murderer, then he has to do his time. Now, I'm a little bit more empathetic to that side of things, because who doesn't fucking hate insurance companies? How often has your medicine been denied? Your prescription or your procedure have been denied by insurance companies, how much money you've paid into it, where they said, no, you don't need this, even though a doctor said it. I would argue that's a bit of a different thing. But yes, I do believe if Luigi is proven guilty of that murder, he should do his time, 100%. I'm just more empathetic to that one. That's all. Call me an anarchist.
I guess. Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell. Yes. Anyway,
Juice, that was a good one. Deep Blue Sea, he ate me. A fucking shark ate me. I don't know what made me think of that. That was, yeah.
Okay. Sam Jackson.
Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Let's change it up. Let's talk about some news. Something I wanted to bring up. Have you seen the teaser for Spaceballs 2?
I wanted to talk about Spaceballs. I haven't seen the teaser, but I did want to talk about Spaceballs 2. Hey, get away from that!
Don't you dare whistle at me.
No, I was whistling Izzy.
I bet.
Izzy shat on the damn thing. I'm just making sure she doesn't do the whole dog thing and try to eat it.
They do that shit.
All dogs eat shit. They all fucking do it.
So does Donald Trump.
He does too. He ate shit this past weekend. Oh, yeah. So I want to talk about Spaceballs 2. I didn't see the teaser, but I didn't actually know there was a teaser out for it. However,
I think it's a teaser. It was on TikTok, which I saw. Maybe it was fan made. I don't know.
It might have been fan made. I didn't hear a teaser, but I do know that they're doing Spaceballs 2. And from what I understand, the entire cast from Spaceball 1 is returning, including Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement
to play Dark Helmet.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Not only that, but fucking you know me with names. God damn it.
Who? Bill Pullman?
No, Bill Pullman's coming back. Yes.
Well, who's gonna play? John Candy died. Who's gonna play Barf?
Oh, they're bringing him back too. Yeah.
They're bringing him out back from the dead.
Yeah, they're bringing back. So what they're going to do? They're going to dig him up and they're going to parade his corpse around. That's what they're going to do.
They're gonna Weekend at Bernie's him.
I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm actually excited for this movie because he's having a direct role. So like, unlike did
Mel
you watch?
Brooks,
Yeah,
you mean?
Mel Brooks. Yeah. So did you watch History of the World Part 2?
Yes, and I did not care for it.
Nobody did. So from what I understand, he had just an executive producer credit on that. He didn't actually have a direct, his fingers weren't in the pie for that show. Apparently, he's directly involved in the writing for this. Like Mel Brooks is...
He's writing and directing.
He's coming back as Yogurt, first of all.
He's 98 years old.
Yes.
And he's going to be playing Yogurt
Yes.
on his knees.
He's still fucking hilarious. Mel Brooks is still funny. And he's having a direct... actually, he's directly involved in the creation, the writing of Spaceballs 2. I'm actually kind of pumped for this. You got two things. You got Mel Brooks directly involved and Rick Moranis coming out of retirement for this movie. Fuck yes.
So the teaser trailer, if you get a chance to watch it, do it. It's Mel Brooks sitting there in a chair looking old as hell. Looking like the goddamn...
We're going to watch it after
He's
this.
looking like the Crypt Keeper. He's wearing a shirt. I think it says Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. And he's sitting there. He's like, and fans have been clamoring that they want this. They want this movie. We listened, but instead we're giving you Spaceballs 2. And all it is the Star Wars scroll. And it says, it's like the Spaceballs, it says, since we've made this, there have been 13 new Star Wars movies. And it was rattling off all these things, like X amount of Jurassic Park movies, X amount of Avatar movies, this many Terminators, but only one Spaceballs in that amount of time. And we're going to fix that. It's great. We'll watch it. If you get a chance, check out the Spaceballs 2 teaser, I guess it is, because they don't show any clips from the actual movie itself.
If they don't, I guess it'd be an announcement if they don't show any clips.
Sure,
or anything
okay.
like that. We'll call it an announcement,
Okay.
I guess. I'm excited for it. I want to see it so badly. I'm gonna go to the theaters and see it when it comes out. I'm absolutely
Let's go.
100%. Even if you say let's go, but then come theater time, you're like, well, I got this to do. I got family stuff to do and stuff like that. Doesn't matter for me. I'm going to make time and I'm going to go to theaters.
Eat a
to see this
hog,
movie.
man. I will go totally see it if I'm available to. I wanted to go to the drive-in this weekend, but unfortunately I was at a soccer tournament. Lilo and Stitch and Thunderbolts were playing together at the drive-in. And I'm like, oh, damn, I want to see both of those. But I couldn't go.
I've heard no good things about Lilo and Stitch, honestly.
I've heard so many. It's making all the money.
I've not heard any good things about.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I've heard it's amazing.
I've
Who are you listening to? Not the right people. You're listening to the toxic people.
the biggest criticism I heard about that movie, and maybe this is a spoiler, the biggest criticism I heard of that movie was Nani in that movie. In the original animated movie, it was like a story about her trying to
I would argue Nani's the main character.
Yeah,
it's called Lilo and Stitch, but Nani is the
make it as like an older sister who's trying to be a guardian to Lilo and stuff like that. And she's trying to do her thing and trying to make it successful. And I heard, and I'll have to judge this fully whenever I watch the movie when it comes out on Disney Plus. But I heard that a lot of the criticism was okay, they changed the Nani character to mostly being about trying to get with whoever the Hawaiian guy was. David, yeah.
Show some damn respect on David's name.
It was.
I apologize,
So
David.
David, in the original anime series, it was David was trying to get with Nani. Nani was just worried about her being a guardian. Where in this one is Nani is. It's not that she's not concerned about it, but it was more of she wasn't being an independent woman. She was more worried about her relationship than worried about being a guardian. And it was kind of a negative draw against us. That kind of takes away from the character a little bit.
I heard they removed Captain Gaunt too.
That's an immediate. That's an immediate no for me. Then
he was the villain.
Yeah, he's the guy.
What are the Quigley and the other guy?
It's sort of a P.
Pleatley, and
Yeah.
Pleatley's the cross dresser. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
But the other guy who he's with, the one who created
I also heard
Stitch,
that they take on a human form in this one instead of.
they make him the villain
really
in this one.
That's an immediate negative for me. That you've started at a negative. You've started below, way below, like down here. You're down at sea level now for me. Like honest to goodness.
I'm disappointed
He was a great villain, and Pleakley was a great like pseudo ally. Like he's like a reluctant bureaucrat that becomes like an ally. He had a great fucking arc to him too. They've ruined it. They ruined it. I'm gonna watch it, but they ruined it.
Pleakley was a queer icon, man. It's like faux show.
Yeah, exactly. They fucking ruined it.
Trans cross-dressing illegal alien. I love him, man.
Not my Lilo and
Represent.
Stitch. Not my Lilo and Stitch.
But David, I'm not a cartoon character, and I'm not a member of the LGBTQA plus community.
Oh,
but
yeah.
David, damn.
David fucks.
Damn. I mean, damn.
Yeah, David fucks. 100%.
Holy cow.
You know what they did for, like, to me, in my opinion?
You could fry an egg on that stomach.
If they did, if it turns out they did exactly what I've heard they did, they Mulan'd it, where it went from strong, independent woman trying to prove she don't need no man that could do anything else to
I don't need no man.
To not independent woman who needs a man because, you know, whatever, and she doesn't really care so much about being a guardian.
Fuck the patriarchy.
Just saying. My opinion about Mulan is still valid today. Today, you admitted that on the show. It is still valid.
Get off my nuts. Mulan's okay. Mulan wasn't that bad. It was the fight scenes were kick-ass.
They were kick-ass, yes.
Kick-ass.
But the fucking story made no sense.
The story was weak.
I guess Strange New World news also.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. All right, what is it?
So, Strange New Worlds, even though it hasn't aired for its season 4,
Can't wait.
It has been officially renewed for a season 5, but it's the final season. It's the last season.
Okay.
The rumor is, because you know how that has to end, right?
It's got to switch to the Enterprise crew that we know.
Well, most of the Enterprise crew we know is already there. Most of them, not all of them. We're missing Bones. Kirk has been introduced, but he's not on the ship yet. So the rumor is that obviously we know how it has to end. Pike has to get his disfigurement. He's going to be in that fucking BB chair, and he's going to no longer be captain.
We know that's happening.
The rumor is that the Paramount is going to take that at the end and turn it into another spinoff where we do the original series with this new cast.
Shot for shot?
Probably not shot for shot.
Oh my God, I want shot for shot. That would
probably not that, because again, like
that would be going where no man has gone before.
They do like 8 to 10 episodes per fucking season, where the original series is like 30 episodes a season, but they had like 4 seasons. But like, that's the rumor is that Paramount is going to take. We know they're going to do a spinoff with Picard series with Seven of Nine and his son on the new Enterprise. We know they're going to do that. The rumor is that they're going to spin off Strange New Worlds to be a new Star Trek the original series with this new cast.
Oh my God!
With these new actors, I mean, not new cast, new actors. Not cast yet. Never mind. I was right the first time. That's the rumor. I would love every fucking minute of that, because the writers of Strange New Worlds are
amazing.
chefs kissing Star Trek right now.
Oh my
they
God.
are doing it right. I would love it. I would want it, because they already have most of the cast there. They're missing what? Bones. They're missing Bones. Are they missing anybody else besides that? Because they introduced Scotty.
They introduced Scotty. Just
I don't think they're missing anybody else. I'm trying to think.
I don't know, but that's great news.
Sulu?
I'm gonna have to bring
Sulu's not there yet, right? They haven't introduced Sulu. So they're missing Bones and Sulu. Yeah, there's no Sulu. So they're missing Bones and Sulu. Other than that, I don't think they're missing anybody else.
I'm gonna have to bring a change of pants when they put that on.
That's what I've heard. So we're getting season 4 coming up in July. Season 5 is going to be probably like 2 years from then, and then we'll see where they're going to fucking go from there. I would cream my pants.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I would be all in for that if they kept the same writers. Like, I would be all in for that.
I think it would be very bold to boldly go by doing a shot-for-shot remake of the original series With
They
the
should
new-
do that.
Oh my god!
There's an episode that exists. I send you these TikToks all the time. There's a comedian that does like previously on
Yes.
blah blah. There's the episode where was it the Greek god or whatever episode? I think was like the newest one he did. There was like a pseudo Greek god that like has like a giant phantasm hand that holds the Enterprise in place, and then I think it's Apollo or something like that. And the crew has to go down to the planet to like fight this like pseudo alien entity taking the guise of like a Greek god, and that would be the wildest fucking show.
What does God need with a starship?
That was the one Shatner directed, and that was the bad one. He was trying to make a statement there, and it didn't work really. It would be amazing. I would love it so much.
Wow,
Yeah.
you got me excited.
I'm just ready for the new season. Because remember, last season ended on a cliffhanger.
I might need to rewatch because
It also,
I feel like it was so long ago.
if they did a shot-for-shot remake of the original series, also it would make Kirk the ultimate badass. Because think of the Gorn that we have now, but there's that Gorn Kirk fight in the original series.
Yeah.
He basically would take out a dinosaur. That's basically what he would take out a velociraptor.
With a rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm here for it.
They made the Gorn tough.
They made the Gorn badass. That's cool as shit.
And they like use our bodies like the xenomorph, like
say
to
this.
hatch their eggs.
Yeah, I'll say this though. It does kind of and granted, at the time when J.J. Abrams did his Star Wars, the Gorn weren't seen as this vicious of a creature. There was that one line that Bones had where he said he assisted in like a Gorn birth. I think it was like Star Trek 2 for the J.J. Abrams universe. When he was trying to impress that Carol Marcus character.
Oh, yeah. Everyone wanted to repress her.
Yeah, he was really into that, and he was talking about like how he had to assist a Gorn birth essentially, and it was like, so you assisted the Gorn shooting out of some dude's chest. All right, that's fair. But
That's weird.
there's supposed to be a new J.J. Abrams movie coming out too. He's looking to do a new one. Star Trek news, fucking great. Here for it.
We're always going to share Star Trek news on this podcast. If you don't like it, I don't care.
You can get the fuck out. Normally, right now, we do our course of cinema, but
we got to tell people.
We're doing a bit of a reset, so we kind of got off a little bit on it.
We got off on it, yeah.
We got off on it, yeah, and we got to clean it up a little. We got to wipe it off. No, normally what we do is course cinema after the fact. We had to, due to the schedule change because of my promotion at work, and we had to switch the shift. Hey, I'm gonna fucking talk about that as long as I want. I'm making more money now, bitch. No, due to the schedule change for the show, we kind of had to do a course cinema before the show, and we kind of got into that for a few episodes, but we kind of prefer doing it after the show, so we're gonna not do course cinema now. We're gonna do it for next week, because after the show we're gonna watch the movie. But as a reminder for you, the movie is Companion on HBO Max or HBO.
I have not
Or
heard
Maxine.
I have not even heard of this movie.
I really hope that you. So I looked at the trailer, and it's one of those kind of movies where like I'm glad you didn't watch the trailer, because the trailer gives away like the entire movie.
Don't know a thing about it.
It's a really good movie to not know anything about when you watch it.
Going in blind.
Yeah, so go in blind. So we don't have course of cinema, so we're gonna end it now.
Yep.
We're not gonna do anything else. So if you want to get a hold of For Distraction, you can email us fordistraction@gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are
You
on
almost said
Podbean. Huh?
You almost said Twitter.
It's a force of habit, but like
We
we're
are
not on Twitter anymore.
Twitter.
Really, the only social media site we are on right now is Facebook, quite frankly. So you can search For Distraction on there. We are, like I said, on Podbean. We're on Spotify, Google Play, and pretty much any podcasting audio listening app that you can find us on. Search For Distraction. If there's an app that we're not on, let me know, and I'm gonna do what I can to get us on there. We do our live streams. The best way to know when we do live streams now would be to subscribe, follow us on Facebook, because I will post the live stream on there when we do it, so you can get a notification and you can watch it there.
We used to do Facebook Live, but we made the switch to live streaming on YouTube but we still post the links to Facebook.
It'll bring it
'Cause
right
we've
here.
got a lot of people who used to watch our Facebook lives, and we're still going to post the YouTube live links to Facebook, so you won't miss a beat there.
No, but it's just better to expand out to different stuff. And YouTube is better suited for live streaming, quite frankly. All the links to all our social media and everything else are the description of the show. So, like I said, if you can't find us, look in the description. Boom, it should be there. We're still a member of the Electronic Media Collective, so head over to electronicmediacollective.com. You can listen to us and a bunch of other really great shows on there. Any follow-up for...
You know what? We have Robert Hopkins holding, but we have run out of time again. I apologize.
Robert, man.
I apologize to Robert Hopkins. We'll get you on next time. We just ran out of time. We don't have time, but hopefully you're not mad at us. But we'll get you on next time. But
you know what, Robert? Keep simping for us. We love it. It's great. We appreciate it. And you know, we love your love, man. I know you love For Your Distraction. You love everything we say. You love everything we do. We appreciate it, man. You know, you're a big fan. I love it so much. Scott.
Yes.
We out. We outie.
We outie.
I got nothing else. We outie. We outie 5,000.
A pox on the pony.